Welcome back to another episode of my Class Snapshot series for Dark and Darker. This series is intended to give you some overall strengths, limitations, and a few general tips for each of the classes in Dark and Darker, hopefully to help you decide which class you'd be most interested in playing. In this episode, we're going to talk about the Wizard. Wizards are currently the prototypical offensive caster of Dark and Darker, wielding a combination of utility, support, and offensive magic. Wizards have quite a few tools at their disposal. If you want to blast down doors with explosive fireballs or unleash a barrage of magic missiles at the darkness, this is the class for you. Starting off with the strengths. Number 1, Wizards have amazing outplay potential. With spells like Haste, Invisibility, and really good burst damage, Wizards are one of the few classes that can 1vx on a reliable basis. Strength number 2. Wizards can be a really powerful supporting character. Being able to provide buffs like Haste and Invisibility to a Barbarian can make them an absolute powerhouse. Strength number 3. With their ranged magic, Wizards can easily and safely clear out PvE enemies rather quickly. Strength number 4. Wizards have a lot of versatile builds and quite a few playstyles. With a huge combination of spells to mix and match, and a couple different viable weapons, Wizards can really adapt to play around what their team needs. Whether you want to sit in the backline with a spellbook and buff your allies, or grab a Rondel and Crystal Ball, cast Ignite and run around like some sort of magical assassin, the Wizard has options. You're even capable of using crossbows and throwing knives, giving a few different ranged options when the magic missiles just aren't cutting it. Strength number 5. Infinite spells thanks to the active ability Meditate. With arrows potentially becoming a limited resource, this might actually be a real strength of the Wizard. Now, I'll admit, this is a little bit of speculation on my part, but having infinite range damage still is a strength. Moving on to the Wizard's limitations. First up, Wizards have the lowest health and armor in the game, and they're even weak to magic damage until they're geared. And this is seen even in the data from the last playtest, where Wizards had the lowest survival rate of any class. At the end of the day, Wizards are squishy, and you're gonna die a lot. Limitation number 2. Wizards are incredibly gear dependent for both offense and defense, and even in the best gear, you still won't overcome the weakness of being squishy. Limitation number 3. Wizards have a really high skill floor to play effectively. Like I said, they have the lowest survival rate of any class by far, and this is partly due to the fact that it takes a decent amount of skill to play a Wizard. Limitation number 4. There's a lot of downtime when playing a Wizard. You need to either meditate or camp to recover your resources, and this can really slow down your play. Limitation number 5. Wizards have no sustain in their base kit. Obviously, this can be overcome rather easily with consumables, but for new players or people without a lot of money, it can be really challenging to get going on a new Wizard character, because frequently that chip damage means you're going to die in your first PvP encounter. With the limitations out of the way, let's move on to some general tips for playing a Wizard. First up, use your spells frequently and meditate often. Meditate has a short cooldown and brings quite a few of your spells back. Know which spells are going to come back at a good rate, so things like Zap, Ignite, all come back almost entirely with one meditate, whereas Fireball and Magic Missile you're going to get 1 to 2 casts, and really powerful spells like Chain Lightning take more than a full meditate to get a single charge. So know when to use your spells to clear and when to save them for PvP encounters. Tip number 2. Pick up a spellbook or crystal ball as soon as possible. But don't ditch your staff. You can still use it to smash crates and deal with PvE to conserve resources. But at the end of the day, you're really looking for that plus magic damage as a Wizard to become effective. And even a white spellbook or white crystal ball can make your magic missiles pack a significant punch over a naked Wizard. Tip number 3. Don't be afraid to push aggressively. There are times when you want to be in the front line of your team, so you can fireball the enemies without worrying about friendly fire. Tip number 4. Use your ears, and pre-buff whenever you can. If you know there's enemies on the other side of the door, you want to make sure you have haste or your barbarian is hasted, and save that invisibility for as soon as they shout, so they can run in and absolutely demolish your enemies. And tip number 5, keep those blue potions handy. A Wizard will likely die to a single well-placed crossbow bolt or arrow from a ranger. A blue potion can be the difference between being able to cast invisibility on yourself and running away, or heading back to the lobby early. And that's it for my wizard class snapshot for Dark and Darker. I hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, please like and subscribe if you liked it, and let me know anything you think I missed. Thanks for watching.